Sometimes he sold rice, sometimes worked as a laborer, and sometimes did farming. He ran away from home 4 times, only to find betrayal. But despite all of this, he managed to create his own car. At first, the price and quality were so low that the world mocked him and forced him to fail. He fell repeatedly, climbing up only to fall back down again. But each time he rose stronger, and eventually, this boy joined Hyundai, the world's 3rd largest car manufacturing company. Ladies and gentlemen, Chang Joo Young was born in 1915 in a small village called Tongcheon, which is now in North Korea. Back then, Korea was a single country under Japanese rule. Chang was the eldest of 7 siblings, and due to poverty, his entire family worked in the fields. At just 14 years old, Chang had to leave school because of poverty and started working with his parents in the fields. He worked tirelessly, but earned so little that despite all his effort, he often went to bed hungry. This situation made him question whether he would spend his entire life in this way. He was fed up. So, he ran away from home, traveling 100 kilometers to the city of Kwan. There, he started working as a laborer alongside construction workers. He worked hard, but his earnings were still low. Despite the hardships, he found happiness for 2 reasons. First, he spent all his earnings on himself, and second, he was finally free. But that freedom lasted only 2 months. His parents found him, brought him back, and sent him back to the village. The joy he had felt was now gone, and he was forced to return to the fields. But Chang had tasted city life, and he knew he never wanted to go back to the village. He tried to run away twice more, but both times he was caught and sent back to work in the fields. Then one year, a poor harvest led to a food shortage in the village. People sometimes went without food for days. Chang had enough. He decided that this time, his escape would be final. He ran away to Seoul, the capital of what is now South Korea. He vowed to live in the city and do whatever it took to survive. In Seoul, he didn't refuse any work. He worked in construction, as a factory worker, and even as a cleaner. He had one trait. No matter the job, he put his heart into it. Soon, he got a job delivering rice for a shop. Riding his bicycle, he delivered rice, and as a result, the shop's sales soared. The owner, impressed with his work, made Chang the manager. It was his first job that didn't require hard labor, and he quickly became successful, boosting the shop's sales even more. Eventually, the shop owner fell ill and could no longer run the business. He sold the shop to Chang at a low price. The boy who had worked in the fields and run away from home 4 times was now the owner of his own rice shop at the age of 22. He worked hard to make the shop the best in the area. But just as he began to feel settled, history took another turn. On July 7, 1937, a Japanese soldier went missing near the Marco Polo Bridge, leading to the outbreak of the Second Sino-Japanese War. This war lasted for years, causing severe rice shortages in Japan and Korea. Since Korea was under Japanese control, the Japanese government seized all rice shops to resolve the shortage. Chang's rice shop was one of those seized, and once again, he was left unemployed. His 2 years of hard work were wiped out. But Chang didn't give up. He searched for a new business, one where the Japanese army couldn't take control. He came up with the idea of opening a car repair shop, but the challenge was he didn't have the money to start. So he took a loan of 3,000 won and opened a new business called Auto Service. But fate had other plans. A fire broke out in his new garage, destroying not only the building but also all the cars inside. Chang found himself in a difficult position. He had to pay back the loan and cover the losses. But he didn't lose hope. He took another loan of 3,500 won, reopened the garage, and slowly managed to recover. He shifted his focus to growing the business. Over the next 2 years, the garage grew rapidly. Chang hired more people, and soon 70 to 80 people were working for him. His success was so significant that he brought his entire family from the village to Seoul. But another challenge awaited him. In 1950, the Korean War broke out, and South Korea was invaded by North Korea, supported by the Soviet Union. Seoul was too close to the border, so Chang fled to Busan. Once again, Chang didn't lose hope. He quickly assessed the situation and found an opportunity. The U.S. Army had arrived to assist South Korea, and they needed tents, warehouses, and buildings. Chang started a new construction business, offering his services to the U.S. Army. The U.S. Army, a superpower with an endless budget, began contracting Chang's company. By the end of the war, Chang had established strong relationships with both the U.S. Army and the South Korean government. His construction company had grown so much that it was handling major projects, including dams and highways. Thanks to these connections, Chang had easy access to heavy machinery and was always first in line for contracts. But Chang still had his eyes on the car business. In 1967, he founded the Honda Motor Company. Soon after, Honda partnered with the well-known car company Fiat to assemble cars. But the South Korean car market was very small, and growth opportunities were limited. So, Chang sought new partners and formed an alliance with Mitsubishi. Though the South Korean market was small, the company improved its cars significantly and eventually launched them in the U.S., where the cars initially failed. But Chang never gave up. He kept improving the cars, introducing new models that soon became popular in the U.S. and many other countries. The cars were now of higher quality and more affordable, making them a hit with customers. Honda grew to become one of the largest car companies in the world. Chang Joo Young, who once started his journey selling rice, was now the owner of a successful multinational corporation. Due to his age and declining health, he retired and handed over the company to his sons. Chang passed away in 2001, leaving behind the world's third-largest car manufacturing company. But here's something interesting. The Honda logo doesn't represent the letter H. It actually symbolizes two people shaking hands, one representing the company and the other representing a satisfied customer. For more interesting videos, subscribe our YouTube channel. Subscribe AD Stories.